Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We're back again on part 3. So in this part 3, we're going to discuss how children learn new behavior. So in this part, we're going to speak or talk about theories. So a little bit difficult compared to part 1 and part 2 because this topic all about theories. Theories meaning we study the idea, the founder of um, previous people who come up with these ideologies. First is social learning theory, second is behaviorist theory, number 3 is self-fulfilling prophecy theory, number 4 psychoanalytic theory, number 5 constructive theory, and number 6 the theory from Islamic perspective, the ideology from Imam al-Ghazali. So while we are discussing about these 5 theories, actually is an ideologies insight from founder those people who are expert on the field related towards how children learn new behavior, how they learn, how they start, how they begin to have a new behavior. There are 5 different theories we're going to discuss today. The first one is social learning theory. So social learning theory, all right, according to Albert Bandura, this is the pioneer of social learning theory. According to him, the social learning theory, children learn new behavior by copying the behavior of adults and other children. So they imitate. Just now we learned about previously we learned about the characteristic, one of the characteristic of the children is imitative, right? So that character actually been explained by this pioneer of this theory, by Albert Bandura. He says that children learn every new behaviors. How they learn is by imitating, by copying. From whom? From people's around. So those people can be their friends, their colleagues, or their peers, or it can be also from adults. If they are at home, it can learn from their siblings, brothers and sisters, or their parents. For example, they watch looking their father every day smoking in front of them and puff in front of him, so they will copy or imitate that behavior. So they give this example. For example, a child who saw someone aggressively kick others may do the same when angry at someone. Therefore, the role model of the children are most likely among their parents, caregivers, teachers, children, practitioners, and the environment that's surrounding them. As simple as when they're playing, they saw their friends slapping or kicking other children. They go back, they will apply kicking or slapping that they watch, they observe from their friends. So they are copying. So this actually the explanation about social learning theory. So they learn new behavior by social through their environment. Okay, that's number 1. Clear? Okay, let's move on. Second theory is behaviorist theory. Look at the words behaviorist theory. All right. So according to this theory, the founder is J.B. Watson and B.F. Skinner. They are among the theories behind the emergence of behaviorist theory. According to this theory, children learn new behavior based on their action outcomes. They learn new behavior based on their action outcome. A behavior is repeated if children obtain some kind of reward, positive or negative reinforcement. And the behavior will discontinue if the punishment is given after the unwanted behavior. So why they're doing such thing, for example, because they got a reward. Because they're happy with that reward, they will continue doing the same behavior. They will stop behavior if they've been punished. For example, there are two types of behavior. Behavior A, behavior B. Let's put an example. Behavior A is a good behavior. For example, helping others. Okay, sharing toys, sharing pencil to others. Because children's been praised or teachers praise him in a class, teachers give him a reward because of his sharing his stationaries to others. Every day he been praised by the teacher. So because of that praise, he feel happy and he keep doing the same behavior again and again to the other children. So that new behavior which is helping others that children learn is because of reinforcement. Reinforcement means galakkan. Punishment, hukuman. Reinforcement, galakkan. So dengan mendapat galakan, children buat lagi behavior yang diberi galakan tadi tu. So basically reinforcement ada terbagi pada dua. Dia ada yang positif, ada yang negatif. So positive and negative. Positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. What is positive? Sin answered the question correctly and the teacher give a appraisal. Ni tak nampak, dia been blocked by the picture. Appraisal means uji lah. Negative reinforcement. Sarah learned that by cleaning up the room can avoid her mom nagging on her. Negative means dia buat juga behavior tapi sebab takut. Takut nanti kena marah, takut kena bebel. Dia membuat sesuatu perkara sebab untuk elakkan diri daripada susah kemudian hari. Itu kita panggil reinforcement. Reinforcement galakkan. Dia membuat sesuatu aktiviti, they are doing such thing behavior, they've been reinforced. Okay, dia terdorong untuk melakukan sesuatu sebabkan ketakutan. Itu kita panggil negative reinforcement. Kalau dia melakukan suatu behavior because of seronok, excited, itu kita panggil positive reinforcement. Dorongan positif dan dorongan negatif. Terdorong untuk melakukan sesuatu disebabkan rasa happy, itu kita panggil positive reinforcement. Terdorong melakukan sesuatu sebab takut, risau, itu kita panggil negative reinforcement. Okay. Number 2 is punishment. Punishment, for example, Ellie was isolated for her group because of being disruptive. Sini tak ada, tertinggal perkataan disruptive. Ellie was isolated for her group because of being disruptive. So disebabkan dia suka merosakkan benda, merosakkan barang kawan-kawan, jadi dia di-isolate oleh their friends. Isolated means dipinggirkan. Tak nak kawan dengan dia. Isolated. Itu maksudnya. Dipinggirkan. Dikecualikan. Tak boleh join group. Sebab apa tak boleh join? Sebab kawan-kawan dia bagi hukuman kat dia. Sebab kau ni suka rosakkan barang kita orang. So, tak boleh kawan. Tak boleh main dengan kita orang. So, because of that punishment, so Ellie stop the behavior. Nak join kawan? Stop disruptive behavior. Jangan rosakkan, jangan ganggu, jangan menyakitkan hati orang lain. So that is punishment. So behavior kanak-kanak ni, dulu dia nakal lah, dulu suka dia cubit orang, kenapa dia tak cubit lagi? Dia dah stop behavior, dia dah jadi baik lah, because of punishment. According to behaviorist, because of punishment. Dulu dia tak suka share makanan. Sekarang dia offer je kawan-kawan sampai makanan dia tinggal sikit. Kenapa? How they have this new behavior? Because of ada reinforcement, ada positive reinforcement. Cikgu puji, kawan-kawan suka, dapat kawan baru. This positive reinforcement. Right? Ada dorongan positif. So ini maksud behaviorist theory. Okay, number 3. Self-fulfilling prophecy. This theory emphasizes on the way how parents or caregivers think about the children will influence how the children behave. So kita panggil self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay. For self-fulfilling prophecy is a prediction that directly or indirectly causes itself to become true. If a parent has in their mind that the child is difficult and challenging, most probably the children will behave in a difficult manner. If parents have positive impression and perception towards their children, most probably the children will behave in the way that the parents think how good they are. So self-fulfilling prophecy ni dia soalan macam dah belief. If the parents believe, percaya, yakin sangat anak dia akan jadi seorang anak yang percaya, seorang anak yang baik, seorang yang berjasa, disebabkan belief yang terlalu kuat daripada anak yang tak berapa nak pandai, lama kelamaan anak ni akan berjaya. Right? The belief system. Sama juga, anak tu tak bersalah, tapi because of parents kata, memang because of belief of the parents mengatakan anak dia yang bersalah, anak dia yang punca buat ni, anak dia. So because of strong belief from their parents will make the children achieve or get that kind of behavior. So macam mana dia dapat new behavior? Because of belief. That strong belief kita panggil self-fulfilling prophecy. Right? So I can explain. Tapi because of parents ataupun teachers ataupun caregiver think akan mempengaruhi perangai kanak-kanak tu. Dia ni memang nakal. Si Ali ni memang nakal. Si Ali ni memang tak boleh buat apa. Memang confirm lah kalau exam ke apa ke, confirm dia paling last sekali. Tak boleh nak buat apa dah, tak boleh dibantu. Disebabkan kepercayaan kuat oleh seorang guru pada anak murid, lama kelamaan anak ni memang jadi seperti apa yang dijangkakan. What been believed by the teachers or by the caregiver. That's why be careful. Do not simply have a strong belief assumption. You already block and you already label the children. As a teachers, as a caregivers, we always need to be optimist. Apa maksud optimis? Boleh, walaupun nampak macam tak ada harapan, tapi kita kena sentiasa optimis. InsyaAllah akan ada cara. Satu orang tidak akan berjaya. Kena optimis lah. Siapa lagi yang nak optimis selain daripada guru, selain daripada parents? Musuh confirm tak nak optimis lah, negatif. So as a caregiver, as a parents, as a teacher, we need to be optimistic. Optimis. Sentiasa berfikiran positif dan percaya good things will come. Okay, next, psychoanalytic theory. According to psychoanalytic theory, originated from the idea Sigmund Freud. According to this perspective, children's behavior are influenced by the inner factors or instinct in which they are unaware of. So, perangai ataupun perbuatan, behavior kanak-kanak adalah dipengaruhi oleh faktor insting. It is the interaction between the internal instinct and the environmental influences that result in the way we think and act. Unresolved conflict in the children's early stage of development may lead to emotional behavior problem in later life. Contoh macam ni lah, insting. Dia rasa lapar, dia rasa happy. Alright. So behaviornya akan for example, kanak-kanak dapat makanan. Alright. So insting lebih kepada insting, macam sixth sense, macam feelings. So kalau self-fulfilling prophecy is feeling belief of parents or adult or other people, but insting adalah feeling kanak-kanak tu sendiri. So according to psychoanalytic theory, behavior dipengaruhi oleh faktor dalaman, faktor insting. Itu pun kita panggil ilham. In Malay ilham lah. Jadi ilham. Dia dapat insting. Tolonglah, larilah, biarkanlah. Insting. Apa insting kanak-kanak tu? So insting tu akan menyebabkan dia melakukan sesuatu behavior. They tend to have new behavior, to do certain behavior because of instinct. Next is constructive theory. Constructivist theory is from Lev Vygotsky. Suggests that children learn behavior by actively interact with others, adapting, exploring the environment and surroundings. Children also use internal processes such as attention, memory, motivation, and reasoning to help them make sense of the world. Example, children who just learn to crawl will grasp everything they see around them, such as toys, furniture, carpet, flowers, grass, dirty, and etc. Children also learn through gradually adapt to good behavior of others. So according to constructivist theory by Vygotsky, children learn new behavior by interacting, communicating with others, adapting, exploring environment. They learn through their environment. Okay, dekat rumah tak nak menolong. Okay, tapi dekat sekolah semua kanak-kanak tolong satu sama lain. Dia pun tolong. Dekat rumah tak nak kemas, sepah. But dekat sekolah, semua kanak-kanak rajin susun kasut, susun selipar, susun beg, susun buku. So, automatically behavior dia suka menyusun sebab kawan-kawan lain menyusun. Dekat sekolah pendiam, senyap. Tapi, dekat sekolah menjerit, melompat. Why? Because the environment. Semua kanak-kanak lain menjerit, melompat. So, ni constructivists. They construct the new behavior by looking at the surrounding. Okay. Alright, educators believe that the best way to learn is by having children construct their own knowledge instead of having someone construct it for them. First-hand experience. So according to educators, dalam teori constructivist ni, cara yang terbaik, okay, is let the children construct their own knowledge rather than someone construct it for them. First-hand experience. Let them experience by themselves. So this belief is explained by the constructivist learning theory. This theory states that learning is an active process of creating meaning from different experience. In other words, children will learn best by trying to make sense of something on their own with a teacher as a guide to help them along the way. So according to this theory, the best way of learning is learning by themselves. Let them experience by themselves. Let them make sense of themselves. Let them reasoning by themselves. So teacher is a facilitator, guide, facilitate, help, not spoon feeding. Right? This according to constructivist theory. And the last part is Imam Al-Ghazali's perspective. According to Imam Al-Ghazali, emphasize on 5 means of children's acquisition new behavior. The first one is mulahaza. Mulahaza means observation and imitation. So according to Imam Al-Ghazali, children learn new behavior first from observation. memerhati, melihat, kemudian mencontohi, ikut. Contoh tengok mak ayah dia solat, dia tengok, lama-lama tak perlu disuruh, walaupun seawal usia 2 years, 3 years, dia angkat takbir by imitating, by observing, rukuk by observing. That is number 1. Number 2, according to Imam Al-Ghazali, is qudwah, role models. So if you want our children to know how to have a good behavior, so kita kena tunjukkan contoh terbaik. Kalau minum air duduk, maka anak-anak pun minum air duduk. So become qudwah, qudwatun hasanah, contoh yang baik. Alright, and then al-iqtiyad, iqtiyad, habituation. Jadikan habit, means kena ulang dan ulang dan ulang sentiasa buat benda yang sama, maka dia akan menjadi satu characters behavior pada kanak-kanak. Kalau nak mengaji tu benda yang baik, nak anak-anak mengaji, kena jadikan habit. So kita panggil itu adalah al-iqtiyad. Yang ketiga, as-sawab wal-iqab, reinforcement and punishment. Mesti ada hukuman dan juga galakkan, reward. Kalau buat something yang bagus, mengaji, ya bagilah duit ke, belikan toys baru ke. Alright. Kalau kacau kakak, okay, bagi hukuman. So dalam Islam pun ada. And then nasihat, yang terakhir, advice. So according to Imam Al-Ghazali, apa yang disebut dalam teori dirangkumkan. So dia bukan satu saja, dia combination. Dia ada al-mulahazah, ada qudwah, ada al-iqtiyad, ada as-sawab wal-iqab, dan juga nasihat. Itu according to Imam Al-Ghazali. So example of positive reinforcement as suggested by Muslim scholars. Kebanyakan scholars yang lain ataupun pakar-pakar, ataupun ulama-ulama, termasuklah Imam Al-Ghazali, menyebutkan communication and treat the children according to their development level. Hukumlah dia, berkatalah dia, berkomunikasilah dengan dia, kanak-kanak, mengikut level, mengikut usia masing-masing. Number 2, calling the child with the good and pleasant names. Ini sangat digalakkan. Daripada awal lagi, berilah nama yang baik, panggilan yang baik. Okay. Number 3, deliver good promises. Janji tepati, jangan dicapati. Then giving a simple gift. Bagi hadiah. Hadiah ni adalah sunnah. Nabi antara manusia yang suka memberi hadiah. Jadi giving a simple gift. Hari hadiah tak semestinya hari jadi saja. Hari biasa, hari Khamis pun boleh bagi hadiah. Okay. Hari Rabu boleh bagi hadiah. Giving compliment, beri puji-pujian. Nabi suka bagi puji-pujian. So kanak-kanak, according to scholars, ulama, beri pujian. Forgiving their mistake, jadilah pemaaf. Okay, jangan cepat menghukum. Praising the children in front of the others. Pujilah di hadapan orang. Jangan asyik kalau marah depan orang ramai. Tapi kalau puji, senyap-senyap, face to face. Puji mestilah mass, dalam dia khayalak ramai. Tapi kalau hukum, senyap-senyap. Itu Islam ajar kita begitu. And the next, pampering and loving the child. Pampered, manjakan dia, sayangi dia. Rasulullah sangat seorang yang penyayang pada kanak-kanak, walaupun bukan anak, walaupun bukan darah daging. Giving a kiss for his or her good performance. Cium, peluk. Di zaman Rasulullah, sahabat terkejut kenapa Nabi mengusap, memeluk anak mereka. Mereka, sahabat pun tak memeluk, memanjakan seperti Rasulullah buat. So Rasulullah menunjukkan contoh. Rasulullah give a good example how to treat children with love and care. And the last part is be gentle and lovable. Jadilah seorang yang penyayang, lovely, dan juga gentle, lemah lembut. Orang yang paling lemah lembut di dunia ni adalah our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him. Right? So altogether we discuss from Imam Al-Ghazali, and then from constructivist theory, psychoanalytic theory, self-fulfilling theory, and then behaviorist theory, and social learning theory. So that's all for part 3. Hopefully you understand and enjoy the lecture. Assalamualaikum.